There's one in every school. She's not hot at all, but she knows she's no fool. In the mean words from the pretty girls come in waves that just won't quit, but they roll right off her back because she knows who she is.
Sure. Karaoke Star was a really interesting experience, actually. I applied online. I did a video submission, and I think there was over 300 submissions, and I got the most amount of votes to get into the top 10. So I got to go to Banff for a couple days and do like a live singing competition to karaoke tracks, and I didn't win. It was based on votes again, but it was a really, really neat experience to be on the stage in front of cameras and have sort of feedback from a couple judges and stuff like that. It was really, anytime you get a chance like that, it's just a learning experience. That's what you have to take from it. So it was great. I think I've always wanted to be a musician. I've been singing since I was really little. I was always in choirs and church choirs and stuff like that growing up. But it wasn't until about 4 years ago that I sort of consciously made the decision that I wasn't gonna not do music anymore. It was sort of hard. I grew up on a farm, and my parents weren't, it's not that they weren't supportive, they just didn't understand the music industry, so they didn't really want me to go somewhere where it would be so hard to get into. So they tried to deter me as long as possible to not get into music, and then I just made the decision that I was going to go for it about 4 years ago. And once you make that decision, or once I made that decision, I just went for it 100% because I wasn't starting at, 14, 15 like a lot of people are these days. So about 4 years ago, and yeah, I think it's in you when you're born. I think you're born to do something in life, and this is my calling. I just toured Canada actually for the last month, and I would have to say my favorite place to perform was Kamloops, British Columbia, and it's not based on the beauty of the city or anything. It's really based on the people you get to perform to. So I didn't have a huge crowd. I only had about 10 people in this little lounge, but every single one of them responded so well, and every single one of them bought a CD, and they were just the most amazing crowd that I've ever sang to. Sometimes I sing to 500 people, sometimes I sing to a couple thousand, and they, by far, these 10 people were the most amazing people I've ever sang to. Oh, wow. Yeah, they were so attentive, and they loved it, and they were appreciative. So that makes all the difference in the world. Well, one of the things that I found and that I've been really lucky about is that everyone who I've worked with has been really kind-hearted and has had nothing but good intentions. So when I went to Nashville and I did my album and I got to work with these musicians who get to play with Keith Urban and Reba and everything on a regular basis, it was just really humbling to know how down-to-earth they were. We all went out for lunch and we talked about politics and religion and everything, and it was a really cool experience to just be on the same level as them. That's how they act. They don't act like they're better than anyone. It's a job, and they do a great job at it, but they treat you like one of their own. If you're going for it and you actually took the step to go to Nashville and record an album, then they treat you on the same level as themselves, and that's really cool. Being bullied for me was something that was really hard to cope with. First of all, because I didn't tell anyone I was bullied. I actually would fake sick a lot and just get my mom to pick me up and stay home. I actually did get really bad migraines, so sometimes I would get migraines and sometimes I wouldn't, and I would say I would have them so I wouldn't have to go to school. I spent a lot of time hiding in the library and stuff like that, so I didn't actually ever come out and tell my parents, or I didn't even know Kids Help Phone existed at the time because I'm from a rural community and there wasn't a lot 15 years ago to tell us about Kids Help Phone. So I didn't really tell anyone, but yeah, I guess I just dealt with it by internalizing it and writing. I started writing really, really young, probably to deal with it. Sunflower in a Field of Dandelions. It's just about, you know, people, I truly believe that everyone has a beautiful spirit, and not everyone sees that. A lot of people, they just see you for your outer appearance, or they see whatever, the color of your skin, you know, who your parents are, it doesn't matter. But a sunflower in a field of dandelions is just somebody who stands out on their own, and it doesn't mean that they're the most beautiful girl in the class, or the most attractive guy, or the most best shape. It's just a beautiful spirit, a beautiful soul in somebody, and that's, to me, what a sunflower is. You know, in the song it talks about being in a classroom and they're younger girls, and this girl isn't that beautiful, or she's not the most pretty, but you can really see something in her, and that's why that girl is the sunflower. I would just say you have to be proud of the skin that you were born in. You have to be proud of who you are as a person, and you, as unfortunate as it is, we are in a society that is obsessed with looks. It's obsessed with celebrity, but there is a lot of people who are trying to change that. There's a lot of people who are trying to show people that it's not about what your outer appearance is, it's about what your inner appearance is. And I think it's just about having pride and confidence in the body that you're in speaks so much more volumes. Like, if you look a certain way and another person looks the exact same way but has tons of confidence, that person shines through, and that person attracts people to them because they're confident in the way they look, and that speaks volumes. So I know it's hard, it was hard for me, but I would say just be really happy in the skin that you're in. And if you aren't, talk to somebody, call Kids Help Phone, or call whoever you can get a hold of, or your parents or whatever, and just tell them how you feel. And it means so much to people to have a support system. So if you have friends or something who are always supporting you, then those are the best people to talk to, because they're always there to bring you up when you're down. What I do to relax when I'm feeling stressed out is I do a lot of yoga, actually, and meditation. I'm a yoga teacher on the side, and it helps a lot when you are stressing out to have a support system there that can just keep your confidence up and to tell you, you know, that you are going to make it, or to keep trying, or to not let yourself, you know, lose hope, because those are you're your own worst enemy. That's a really famous quote, I would say, and you don't have to be. If you just stay positive, then you shouldn't get stressed out. But if you do, I totally understand, and just talk to people. Again, your best cheering squad will keep you out of the dumps, I would say. They do for me. Music is basically my bloodline. I couldn't live without music. And it's kind of funny because I don't actually listen to a lot of music. I listen to CBC. But I have to always be making music. I'm always writing music. I'm always producing music, and I'm always singing. So I don't think I could live without doing music. You know, I kind of always say in interviews that, you know, come riches or poverty, I would still do music, because that's how much it means to me. I can't not do it. I spent 20 years not doing it. So now that I made the decision to spend the rest of my life doing it, it's what I'm going to do. So it's definitely my lifeline. Probably the reason I picked up the guitar was because of Jewel and her first album, Foolish Games. She just has this writing style. It's changed a little bit, but she had this writing style, was just so amazing, and she just sang from the heart, and her voice was so beautiful. And ever since I heard her album, I just knew I had to do music. I also listened to some Shania Twain and Jan Arden growing up as well, and yeah, I would say those three women, powerful women in music, are often the ones that I gravitate to. Music that I listen to now is like Katie Tunstall, or again, Jan Arden. I love Tegan and Sarah for some Canadians. So any strong women, I really love to listen to. I'm actually trying to work on a couple different projects. I want to do kind of like a poppy electronic type project with a friend of mine who does that type of music. I'm going to do an acoustic album, and now I'm also going to do another country album. So I just want to make music, not specifically in a certain genre, even though I love country and I'll probably always do country. I just want to make the best songs possible and produce the best music possible. So I'll just keep doing that.
A lot of work ahead.
I do, but it's good. I'm lucky enough to just do music in my life, so I get to spend every day doing it. I would say never give up. This is a really, any industry is hard. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a dentist, if you want to be a lawyer, you know, you have to work, you have to go to university. And there's always people who are going to try to bring you down, maybe unconsciously or consciously. And all you can do in your life is believe in yourself and not give up. If you want to be an actress or a dancer or a singer or whatever, just do it. Do it because you love it and for no other reason.
Sunflower.